Hello friends, in the digital control system session 4 today we will start. In the last session we have studied how to use a Z transform, the properties of Z transform pair, Laplace transform and Z transform pair, and solution of difference equations. Now today we will study important concept of pulse transfer function. Now you may understand that control system is mainly mathematical modeling important in the control system. So when you go to digital control also, mathematical model is very important. So you have studied in the continuous time system a transfer function. So what is a transfer function of continuous time system? It is ratio of Laplace transform of output to Laplace transform of input provided initial conditions assumed to be 0. So we will now try to understand a pulse transfer function of a digital system. Then we have to study convolution summation. Star Laplace transform, pulse transfer function of cascaded elements, pulse transfer function of closed loop systems, pulse transfer function of digital computer, examples and assignments. This type you have done the transfer function in continuous time also, cascaded element or closed loop transfer function and all these things. So in that line only we have decided to understand. Though it is a mathematical, but the steps are clear, so it can be understood once you understand the correct steps, and you will have to do the practice. So the transfer function for continuous time system relates the Laplace transform of the continuous time output to that of the continuous time input, while the pulse transfer function relates the Z transform of the output at the sampling instant to that of the Z transform of the sampled input. This is basic definition, Z transform of output to the Z transform of input, that is a pulse transfer function. But before that we have to understand the convolution summation, because when I consider sample, the sequence, this sequence 1, sequence 2 and summation of the sequence is the actually the this Z transform. Summation xkt, Laplace transform of summation of the signals, and therefore we have to understand the convolution summation. So for that we have to understand from the beginning how is the block. So this is your normal system or a plant or process which is having a transfer function GS, and initially we apply the continuous time signal, and what we have studied in the beginning is continuous time signal is sampled with the impulse signal. Impulse signal is considered as a carrier signal, and this is the modulating signal, and this will be your sample sequence. T is the sampling time, sample at instant t equal to 1, t equal to 2, like that. This is a sample signal, and this is the output yt, and we consider the output is also a sample signal, fictitious sample signal, and both are synchronized sample signal. So we have a input is a sample signal and output is also a sample signal. That is what we consider. So xt equal to 0 for t less than 0, and impulse signal sample signal is a continuous time system whose transfer function is gs, output is the yt. So if the output there is another sampler which is synchronized in phase with the input R and operates at the same sampling period, then the output is also a train of impulses and it is written as. Now here this is you to understand, because ykt, generally what we write on y is equal to gs into ys equal to gs into rs, and rs is suppose impulse, then y is equal to gs. So here it is written convolution summation is the sequence gkt minus ht into xht, X is the input and G is the Laplace. G is the sample signals summation. Or this is the two sequence. One is this sequence and second is this sequence. Summation of the two sequences. So ykt is sigma h is equal to 0 to infinity xkt minus ht into ght, or this is known as the ykt is equal to x convolution summation. This is the output sample sequence is multiplication of input sample and impulse response, where gkt is the system's weighing sequence, z inverse z of zz, and gkt minus g of kt minus ht equal to 0 for h greater than k. Therefore, z transform of ykt is equal to ykt into z raised to minus k. This is your sim equation. So, I am putting ykt is equal to this in the equation, and I am getting this gkt minus ht into xht z raised to minus k, and finally I get this. This is, I am substituting k is equal to m plus h, and I am getting this value gmt z raised to minus m and xht z raised to minus h. So we get this convolution summation as the multiplication of the two sequences yz equal to gz into xz. So there are sampling instead where m is equal to k minus h. Just now I have explained. So therefore gz is equal to this gmt z raised to minus m, and if you divide this by xz, I get yz gz is equal to yz upon xz, and that is my pulse transfer function. So what is understood that pulse transfer function is ratio of z transform of the output to the z transform of the input, and that will be the pulse sequence, and it is nothing but this, that is a convolution summation. Now what is the star Laplace transform? Very important concept to try to understand. So xt, x star t, star is a pulse sequence, gs and ys. Now here there is no sampler in this case. X star s is a periodic with period 2 pi by omega s, since x star s is equal to s plus j omega s k for k equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. When we have done the study of sampling theorem and we have drawn this periodic spectrum of the sample signal, that time we have seen that there are bands of frequencies, and that is what x star s, that is a pulse or a Laplace transform of a pulse signal, that is the starred Laplace transform. So this signal is a periodic signal because this is sampled at certain period. Therefore this signal is a periodic signal, and this signal is not a period. This gs is not a periodic. So I am doing a multiplication of gs into x star s, and making a star transform, I will do the star of the complete multiplication. So this star will remain as it is, and this star is taken multiplication. So g star into x star, and this is yz is gz into xz. This is what we consider same as star Laplace transform. What is the difference? Difference, where is the sampler placed? The presence or absence of an input sampler is crucial in determining the pulse transfer function of a system. See, in this diagram, there is a sampler because input signal is sampled, and then there is a block. and there is output. So this is yz and there is xz and then there is this. But in this case, what is happening that there is no sampler, input signal is not sampled and only output signal we are getting. So here if I do yz upon xz, it will be yz equal to gz xz as earlier said, because this is a sample, a star plus transform we have done in this case. Yz equal to gz into xz. But for this figure, what we do is, initially we get ys, so ys is equal to gs into xs, and y star is a complete block of x star. Here what happened, x star is inside, so that has become outside. Here x star is inside, so it is first, x star is not inside. So you multiply this first and then take transform. So this initial multiplication g into x, cascading element like that. So g into xz is not same as gz xz. So have you understood? First diagram is gz xz where there is a sampler, and in the second diagram there is no sampler. So this is g xz, g multiplied by x, and after that sample, so gxz. So there are two different things. So important is you have to understand where is the sampler put while doing a pulse transfer function. This is very important thing. Where is the sampler? Accordingly only. So we try to understand from different. So here what we have done, see, cascaded element. Now what is this first diagram? That there are two blocks in cascade, G and H, and there is one sampler in between. Okay, so this input is xt, the sample, therefore this is x star t. Then there is gs, then you get this for figure A, us is equal to gs into x star s. Now there is again sampler, so there is u star s is equal to, now when there is a sampler, g star s, x star s. In the second block, ys is equal to u star hs into u star s, and therefore y star s is h star s into u star s. Y star s is equal to this h star s into u star s. So I will substitute now. For u star is g star into x star. So y star is hs, g star into x star. This I have substituted. And then y star s is same as yz. So yz is equal to hz, gz, xz. So everywhere there is sample. So everything is gz, xz, xz. So yz upon xz is gz into hz. So they are multiplied direct. Multiplication gz, xz. Z transform of this, Z transform of this. But in the second figure, what happened? There is no sampler in between. There is no sampler in between. So this is direct multiplication. G into H and then sample. See here, Ys is equal to G into Hs, Gs into Hs. Ys is equal to Gs Hs multiplied by X star S. Or Gs Hs is Gh S into X star S, and Y star S is GHHS star and X star S. So this complete block, see here it is different, earlier it is different. So GHZ XZ. Therefore, if I take the transfer function output upon input, YZ upon XZ is GHZ or Z transform GHS. Now you can see this GHZ and this is last is GHZ. So both are not same. GHZ, GZHZ and GHZ both are not same. So here the sampler is absent. So please remember this correctly while doing the cascade and where the sampler is put. When the sampler is not there, you directly multiply. If the sampler is there, you have to take the Z transform and then calculate. This is very, very important, so I have considered, because that type of things will be always appearing in the plant. Wherever I put the sampler, accordingly I have to consider and then calculate the stability. So I am considering the closed loop system, because generally we have a closed loop control system. So what is here? Input is a continuous time signal, output is also a continuous time signal. It is fed back and the error is sampled, and then the control action is taken on the plant function, and accordingly it is working, because generally it is like that closed loop system. So there is a sampler here. So we try to find out the closed loop transfer function or in the digital system. In the continuous time system also you have done, if you remember this type of a diagram, there is no sampler. Then what we write down? Gs upon 1 plus GSHS is equal to 0. That will be the closed loop transfer function. Cs upon Rs is equal to Gs upon 1 plus GSHS. Now what happened when I put the sampler here? We'll try to understand. So what is the Cs? Cs is equal to Gs into E star S. And if I take the C star S is equal to whole bracket star, so G star S into E star S. Now, as usual, we try to solve. ES is equal to, what is the error? Error is equal to RS minus this signal, RS minus this, HS into GS E star S, HS into C star S. So C star is G star GS, CS is GS into E star S. So this I have put it, and then I have taken the sampler here. I am not taking this there is no sampler here, so I have not taken this signal, HS into CS. So CS is this GS C star S, and this I am putting now sample of E star S is equal to R star S minus, now this is multiplied directly, G into H, there is no sampler in between. So GH star S into E star S. So E star S is equal to R star upon 1 plus GH star S. Now I require a closed loop transfer function C by S. So C star S is equal to G star S into E star. So I am putting this E star here, R star upon 1 plus GHHS, this is E star, this value I am putting it here, and then I get this. C star is nothing but CZ, so CZ is equal to GZ RZ upon 1 plus GIZ, and the closed loop transfer function is CZ upon RZ is GZ upon 1 plus GHZ, same as earlier if you do in continuous time system, GS upon 1 plus GHS. So very important, pulse transfer function of closed loop system in the sampler is inside at the E star. Now here, if they put the sampler at the feedback path, if you put the sampler in the feedback path, the equations will be differ. There is no sampler here. Please remember, wherever you put the sampler, accordingly the transfer function calculation will differ. You will have to understand this thoroughly, because this little bit practice method. So this earlier you have done ES is equal to RS minus HS into star S. Now here it is sampler. So earlier equation was RS minus HS into CS. Now here RS minus HS into C star S. So E star S is R star S minus S star S into C star S, because there is sampler here. So CS is equal to, now I will go to CS is equal to GS into ES. Earlier it was GS into E star S. Now here it is GS into ES. So ES I will put RS minus HS TR star, HS this ES value I will put it here. And then C star S is equal to GR, C star S is equal to this multiplication, and there is no sampler, so GR star S, and there is GHS multiplication directly and then sample. So GH star S into C star S. So C star S is equal to GR star upon 1 plus GS star. So GR star S equal to GSRS star and this. So we get the CZ, GRZ upon 1 plus GHZ. Now please understand, since the input RT is not sampled, the sampled signal R star T does not exist. So I will calculate a sequence inverse taking the CZ. But I cannot get CZ upon RZ. I cannot get because R is not sampled. I am doing it from this equation I am getting this. But I cannot get CZ upon RZ. I will get only sample sequence. So little bit different here. This is, you may think this and is same, but it is different. Now very important, what we are doing is in the digital computer. So what we have seen, sample and hold circuit is there. So sample and hold circuit comes into the picture. Digital computer accept digital inputs which are sample signals. And then those signals are reconstructed and then applied to the plant. See here, I am taking a samples, but directly I cannot apply it actually when I am considering a computer in between. And then I am applying to the plant. To the plant I will not apply, but I will apply the reconstructed signal. Therefore digital computer. Reconstructed means sample and hold circuit. So it is converted into continuous time signal. Therefore we are modeling with zero order hold. We have studied in the session 2 zero order hold and its mathematical equation. So we can sample this equation by like this input signal, sample signal, this RKT, then there is a zero order hold, and then there is a transfer function. So directly earlier we have shown that this X star T coming to GS, but in a digital computer we have to replace this by ZOH. So there will be one more block, because mathematical analysis when I am doing, I have to consider this block with mathematical equation. Otherwise it cannot work in a correct fashion. So you have to, every time whenever there is a digital controller system, you have to always have this block and its transfer function of this block. As example, when you consider, then there is a error, there will be a amplifier K, and accordingly. Similarly, when there is a digital computer, there will be a zero order hold with this transfer function 1 minus e raised to minus st upon s. This should be always cascaded. So then, we try to understand, to calculate the transfer function, determine CK for unit step input for the unity feedback closed loop system. See now, everybody knows the transfer function, everybody knows the closed loop transfer function for continuous time system. Now we try to understand the discrete time or digital control time. With the digital controller means there is a zero order hold system, and we are interested in what is the output when I give the input. Generally what we do in continuous time system, you give the step response and what is CT we ask to find out. So here we have given the transfer function and we have given the step input here, but there is a sampler. So then we have to find out what is the output CK. So there are steps in solving this. So what are the steps? We put this ZOS transfer function. Then what we do? Then we find out the closed loop transfer function and then we can calculate. So we will do here. So here this is G0. Consider this a 0 under G0H. So Z transform of G0 into GS, because they are multiplication directly, there is no sample in between. because the as sampler is there, I can replace this reconstructed signal. So Z transform of G0 into GH. One plus your usual 1 plus Z transform of G0 G into HS. HS is 1, it is given. Okay. So we try to write down this G0 as 1 minus e raised to minus st by s ZOH, and G is 1 upon s plus 1. So you multiply this and find the Z transform. So 1 minus e raised to st, e raised to st is Z. Remember, e raised to st is Z. So 1 minus Z raised to minus 1, and this I am taking together 1 upon s plus 1. And I am taking the Z transform of this. So first I will try to do this from your Z transform table, what we have done earlier, 1 upon s plus 1. Okay. So by doing a partial fraction, and accordingly I will get, now here 1 minus Z raised to minus 1 is 1 upon Z. Okay. 1 minus 1 by Z. So Z minus 1 upon Z. No, this will be not there. I am doing only this. So this 1 upon s is Z upon Z minus 1, and 1 upon s plus 1 is 1 minus e raised to st upon Z minus e raised to st. So t is equal to 1. Sampling time is given as 1. So Z minus e raised to minus 1. And this one, this is this. I am putting it here. And this 1 minus Z raised to minus 1 is Z minus 1 by Z. And it is written like this. So this Z will go, this will go, and this is where Z transform of open loop. This is this. 1 minus e raised to minus 1, Z minus 1. Now I will come to the closed loop. So closed loop characteristic equation 1 plus Z transform of 1 plus Z, this is downwards. So 1 plus this. So 1 plus is equal to, I have done this, Z minus e raised to plus, this is coming out to be 1 plus Z is coming out to be this. So I am putting Z transform of G0 GS is this, and 1 plus ZGS is equal to this. Z plus 1 minus 2 Z minus S. So 1 plus this. Okay. So this will go, and 1 minus e raised to minus 1 is 0.367. And here also Z plus 1 minus 0.73 is 0.265. Okay, this will go. And RZ is Z over Z minus 1. Therefore, this is CZ. Is this clear? Systematically, step by step, if you do, it will be correct. So CZ is equal to this minus 0.632 and Z plus Z over Z minus 1. So, stepwise what we have understood, first we have substituted G0. Then we have calculated Z transform G0 GS. Then we calculated 1 plus Z G0 GS. Then we have calculated CZ upon RZ, and then we put the value of RZ, Z over Z minus 1. Then you get the CZ. Then again you have to take partial fraction expansion, and then you can calculate CK. Same procedure what you have done in your transfer function calculation, and find the CT for step response. The continuous time system, how you have done. Same way you try to remember or try to apply the logic. So CZ upon Z is A upon Z plus 0.265 plus B upon Z minus 1. You try to do in your notebook these practical calculations. So A is equal to minus 0.5, B equal to 0.5. So Z again I have taken, and then I get the answer like this. This is the sequence. Output sequence is like this. Okay, steps you must understand. Very important. Practice the problems. Now here we have shown the different cases. Here earlier what we have seen, the sampler is in between, sampler is not there, and initially here in the third diagram there is input sampler is not there, but internal sampler is there. And then I have explained the calculation. So here there is a sampler. So what will be the CZ? CZ will be G1Z into G2Z into EZ. Okay. So CZ upon EZ is equal to G1Z into G2Z. In this it will be CS is equal to G1 G2Z. We have to try to find out this. This is your practice problem given. You have to practice this at home, so to get the idea clear, pulse transfer function and significance of sampler at a different locations. In this case there is no sampler in the third. So A, B, C answers you try to find out. Very important concept, pulse transfer function. After knowing the transfer function, what will be the next step? Because what we have done after pulse transfer function, find out the output for the step response. Okay. So what will be the next step? Next step will be the find the stability of the closed loop system. You can understand what we are trying to understand from the digital control. Only thing is, just by putting a sampler into the circuit, complete mathematical model of the system will change. Selection of correct sampling frequency, modeling the system correctly, and then writing down the correct transfer function of the system. Application of Z transform and inverse Z transform. Solution of difference equation. So many points we have studied in the total 4 sessions. Now next session will be stability analysis. We have not considered detailed a number of problems, but you have to practice the number of problems to make it interesting. These type of things also are modeled with the MATLAB, and try to observe the sampling time is changed, how it is changed. That will be seen in the next session. Thank you.